Hello guys, it's Pepe, and today on Miss Trigger I have an interview for you with Mateusz Sass. Hello Mateusz.
Hello, Pepe. Hello, guys.
Hello. So Mateusz won the Calling New Jersey event with his Starvo that he sent the Starvo to Living Legend status. So congratulations and thank you from the whole
you.
Flesh and Blood community.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You're all welcome, guys. No worries.
Okay, so maybe the first question: who is Mateusz Sass? What do you do for a living? And how did you start playing Flesh and Blood? Maybe this is the first question I can ask you.
Yeah. So in March, I graduated my computer science. So then I decided with all going on in Flesh and Blood, we've got 2 Pro Tours going on. So I'll decide to try to do my best in those events and then decide whether I should try to study something else or just go to normal daily work. But yeah, I guess now I'll focus on Pro Tour in France and then decide what's next.
I think that went very well, that you won the Calling. I think that's what you wanted to achieve. Maybe it's not a Pro Tour, but also it's a
Calling was pretty amazing event for me, so yeah.
Okay, so another question is, have you played anything else before Flesh and Blood, any card game?
Oh, yeah, sorry, you asked before about how I started playing, and I guess it's like with every other game for me. I started playing Flash because of my brother Dominic, who just wanted to show me how amazing this game is, and like we started playing on Tabletop Simulator first, because it wasn't really available in the Europe. And then a couple months later, we've got our first cards in December, I guess. And from that time, I really didn't know that in Poland there is a community in which I can play. But in March, in Krakow, I go to the Magic the Gathering event, and there it was. They were playing Armory, and it was the best standard event from Magic in my life, I guess, because after that I was weekly on Flash. So yeah.
Okay, so the best Magic experience is when you found out about Flesh and Blood.
Exactly. Okay. But it's alive, yeah.
Okay, so do you think that any skills from Magic the Gathering you transferred to Flesh and Blood?
I mean, I didn't play Magic for a long time because it was about a year and it was mostly standard with my local group, like FNMs and maybe one WPNQ, something like that. But I guess I played lots of other card games that are mostly online games or computer games, maybe like Gwent, Legends of Runeterra, Hearthstone firstly. So I guess all those card games helped me reach some basic levels, and then I just needed to focus on Flash to keep going, to reach another level, maybe.
Yeah, I think a lot of players that play Flesh and Blood and other physical card games played any other games online, like Gwent on Hearthstone that you mentioned.
Yeah.
So the next question is, you're playing Flesh and Blood on a very high level. So do you have maybe any tips?
I tried, at least.
Yeah, so you won the Calling New Jersey, so I think that's a really high level.
Probably got
do you have? Yeah. How did you learn to play Flesh and Blood on such a high level? How did you train? Maybe anything about that? Yeah,
so before this Pro Tour, I will say Pro Tour because it was main reason I was preparing. So yeah, I decide that I have spare time now, so I'll try to play at least 8, maybe 10 hour daily to prepare for this event. And not only I played for so much, but sometimes I watch other players play games or listen to some podcasts or just think about decks or maybe some techs in certain matchups. But I guess all those helped a lot. And, when you focus as much on something in your life, it just always makes
profit.
Yeah, makes profit or gives you advantage on something you're doing. So yeah, I guess.
Okay. So a lot of training and focusing on
a lot of training, a lot of reps, playing concrete matchups, I guess, many times to work out how it's going or what should you do in certain situations, I guess, to play it almost automatically to, didn't need to spend a lot of time and energy during the tournament on certain plays that you can do just in snap,
Yeah, just how you worked out those plays before during the training.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, as you mentioned, you qualified for ProTour, and this was your main tournament that you wanted to achieve something in. So, we can talk about meta during the Calling and ProTour.
Okay.
Were there any things that surprised you during the ProTour and maybe later during the Calling? Did the meta change from ProTour to Calling from one day to another? And maybe Kano is something that surprised, I think, everyone in the world.
I guess it's not really as much surprise. Maybe I thought that there is a place to bring something maybe odd, maybe something what other people doesn't expect. With my test group, we didn't find the deck, which will be that. So most of Team Poland just take Starvo to, do well because we thought that he's just the best deck.
Yeah.
But there was a place to do. But if you are talking about the Kano, the problem with Kano is that I don't really think that in Poland, or maybe I don't know all the players, but I don't really feel that we have good enough Kano player to make me feel that Kano has a good way to win with a Starvo. I played it a couple of times and I just felt like if Starvo plays like average game, he'd win. So I didn't thought about the Kano.
Yeah, because in Poland usually it looks like that somebody brings Kano, and on the next tournament everybody is prepared with arcane barriers for that Kano, so you cannot really train. But yeah, I think that was a really good meta call.
But even without barriers, sometimes you just win with it because it wasn't as consistent, I guess. But those Pro Tours players showed us that Kano is really strong if other players doesn't expect it.
Yeah, because, for example, the Prism doesn't have to do any sideboard to just have a really good matchup with Kano. Okay, and did you feel any change from Pro Tour to Calling?
Not really. After the Pro Tour, I guess I tried not to change much in my deck list because I didn't change anything at all. Because I thought that all those preparation that I did before is good enough to make a result. So I thought that if those Kano players were, much above average, because they was really playing Kano whole their game career, so they really know what to do. I didn't really think that other players would make such a result in Calling, And when field is about like 700 people or maybe 800 people, I don't really think that I would like to bring something for maybe 5-6 strong people. So I said, I just thought that it would be pretty much close to these decks that we saw on Pro Tour. So I expected Starvo, Chains, and Prism mostly. So I didn't change anything in my deck list because it was built mostly versus the old decks.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And maybe another question. There was a Starvo bans before the Pro Tour. There was this Awakening ban. And do you think that did this make a big difference? Did you change anything before the preparations for a Pro Tour when you found out about the changes?
So before that, I played the Awakenings in my decks, of course, because it was really good versus all aggro decks. And because of that, I guess we needed to change strategy a bit. Before the bans, I thought maybe I'd like to play more control version of Starvo. But when I saw that Autumn's Touch got suspended, and I needed to change 9 cards with 3 block to something else, and it really needed to be some earth cards. So yeah, you lost really much block and didn't get anything in return. So I decided that the control version is no longer option. So after Awakening Ban, I didn't really thought that matter as much. I mean, it hurt aggro matchup, but only in certain reasons. When you were behind, when you are maybe equal in lives or ahead, Awakening was just a blue card for pitch, so it wasn't the main reason that Starvo was winning those matchups. So yeah, just normal casino version didn't really hurt it as much as the control
I think
one.
that also the mirrors before the Starvos were changed because of the Awakening ban, because before that I think it was very complicated to just think about if my opponent has Awakening, if I can go on with it.
I'm not sure I would use word complicated, because it was he does have Awakening or he doesn't, and you just need to sometimes toss a coin to decide whether he's got Awakening in his arsenal or not. Now the mirror matches on Starvo feels more skillful for me. I know most people will say that it's also coin flip or 50-50 because it's mirror, but I don't really believe in that. You maybe just need to practice more to make some better result in it than the 50%. Yeah. So
yeah, because I know that you were playing the normal Bravo a lot before, so I think that also helps you.
Yeah, Guardians are my main characters, so yeah, I just like to play OG Bravo or old time later on. So yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm the boring one.
Yeah, you're definitely the boring one. Okay, so the tournaments that big require a lot of mental stamina. So you did not make a Pro Tour Day 2, and you still managed to go on prepared on the calling and to maintain that focus and then win those games. What can you tell about that? So not giving up after the first Pro Tour Day.
Yeah, so my target firstly was to aim about top 32 of the Pro Tour. So after first day, when I did like 4 losses, I was pretty not wanna say it felt not good, but I knew that I need to focus on calling, because tomorrow you've got other chances to do something, and there was a big chance. So yeah. And to be honest, I like to try to remind myself what I did wrong in those games. And in all those 7 games, I didn't really thought that I could make some difference, or at least I couldn't remind myself of it. So I tried to move on. Like I mentioned, I didn't make any changes in my deck before the calling, so I just decided to play the same, try to do my best again, and let's see.
And just did it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the day 1 of calling was just a pretty great event for me. So yeah, 7-1 the first day. So
yeah, that was very great for all us in Poland. Okay, so another question. So Starvo is living legend thanks to you. And what will be your next deck? Do you want to change anything before this? Do you want to change the deck that you will be playing before the Starvo bans comes to life?
Yeah.
And after that, what will you be playing?
I've played enough of Starvo, I guess, because we had him hold the first ProQuest season, so it was 8 events from me, then hold the preparation thing that we was talking about, then the ProTour and Calling. So yeah, I've definitely had enough. So then I'll just move on to the other deck. I'll probably try my best playing OG Bravo in my next ProQuest, but after that, I guess I'll try to play some other decks, just waiting for the Uprising to come.
Yeah, so I'm talking about Uprising. So this Uprising is coming soon. What do you expect from that set, both in terms classic constructed and limited? Is there anything that maybe is interesting for you in that set?
Yeah, so maybe it will be different or maybe strange for some people, but I don't really believe that if there is one good deck in meta, we have a problem. I just don't like if the mirror matches of this deck will be bad, but I'd like to have maybe at least 3, maybe 5 decks, but not like paper, rock, scissors, but something like when you really
so when
your preparation or where your understanding of matchups can help you in certain matchups, when your preparation work out, so that would be great for me. Whether it will be Icelander, new ninja hero, new illusionist hero, it doesn't really matter for me. Just if we can enjoy playing this game, I'll be happy. And about limited, I'm not really sure, but I believe in Legend Story Studio that we'll have really nice experience with it also.
Yeah, I also hope so. Not 4 heroes, but 3 heroes. But we hope for the best from them.
Copium.
Okay, so we talked about ProTour, but there is another big event coming. It's ProTour Lille. So the first ProTour in New Jersey was a really big hyped event. And do you think that the first ProTour in Europe will be hyped as much? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I believe that the ProTour in New Jersey was such a great success for whole community of Flesh and Blood, whole the game, whole studio. So I believe that we can keep up going and we'll have as great event as it was in the New Jersey in Europe.
Okay, and so the biggest 3 events during the New Jersey Pro Tour were won by Europeans. So do you think that it won't change at ProTour Lille, or do you think maybe some people from other regions will win?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that really matters.
Okay.
I'm really glad that the Europeans took the first ProTour, of course, but I guess when the event is great, the meta is good enough, and the community like a whole is really great place to be, that it doesn't really matter for me whether Europeans won or American wins. It doesn't matter for me.
Okay, that's great to hear that. Okay, so now we have the shortest question. So with the Uprising upcoming, do you prefer ice or fire?
Definitely ice.
Okay, control player.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any favorite card in Flesh and Blood? Maybe Anotos?
Yeah, Anotos.
Okay.
Definitely.
Do you think that any other hero will get, I would call it Starvo treatment in the next supplementary set?
Yes.
So do you have the same situation when Starvo is just the rising star?
You mean that he had most cards, or
like he's just the best in the set? And
I mean, there was something like that when we had a chain first, then Briar, then Starvo, so maybe there is a pattern, but yeah, so probably we'll have something as good as those 3, I guess.
Yeah, because as I heard during the question and answers session in ProTour, the Starvo was tested with the Briar before bans. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So I just hope that LSS will just won't do it again and test more heroes like Starvo. Okay, so I think we talked about the draft, and there are different languages than English version cards coming. Okay. So there will be Polish maybe in the future. Would you change your cards to Polish versions?
Yeah, I guess I'll play the most iconic for my deck in Polish language. Something like Crippling Crash in Polish, or Oaken Old Polish, but only those that really matters, Okay. Not the old common ones. Just the spicy ones.
So what do you think is the best card in Flesh and Blood?
Oh, so
is there any that you
better than my favorite one? Yeah, so the best one is Winter's Veil, I guess.
Veil? Okay.
Yeah, so my favorite is Anotus, but Winter's Veil is probably better. Yeah.
Okay, do you have this one hint at the end of our interview to just help players become better at Flesh and Blood?
I guess I'll say that understanding of the matchup and many reps will help you get there, and maybe do not tilt during your tournaments and try to have fun with a game. Just enjoy it, because it's really great card game. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the interview. It was great having you here. So I would just say like and subscribe to our channel. I think we will have more things coming up, and I think there will be one surprise involving Mateusz shortly.
Yeah, so likes and subscribe, guys.
Likes and subscribe, guys. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, and see you soon.